On behalf of the Corangamite Shire, it gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone here in Camperdown and to those watching online. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land around Corangamite Shire, the Eastern Maar and Wadawurrung people. We pay our respects to all Aboriginal elders and peoples past, present and emerging. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our special guest who will be involved in today's celebrations. We have our guest speaker, Mr. Tony Murphy, Mr. Denby McKenzie, who will be delighting us with vocal performances for this year's event, our 2025 Citizen of the Year, Leanne Whitehead. I also have my fellow Corangamite Shire councillors, including Deputy Mayor Laurie Hickey, Councillor Joe Beard, Councillor Nick Cole, Councillor Geraldine Canady, Councillor Ruth Castrain, and Councillor Jamie Bogles. I have received apologies from Jacinta Emakora, Dan Tehan, Bev MacArthur, Martha Haylett, Richard Reardon, who regret not being able to attend our events today due to other commitments. As you can well assure, today is a very busy day for our local MPs. I would now like to introduce Denby McKenzie to perform our national anthem. The words of both verses are included in your program. So please, if you can, be upstanding and join us to sing Advance Australia Fair.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing Advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing Advance Australia fair.
Thank you, Denby, and we look forward to hearing from you later again today. Now, it's a little bit amiss of me before. I know we have some special birthdays in the room, and being born on Australia Day is a pretty special event. So all those who are celebrating their birthday today, happy birthday to you, and I'm sure you get to celebrate in style later today. Australia Day is a wonderful opportunity to pause and reflect on who we are, what we value, and what brings us together as a community. Here in Corangamite, it is a day to come together, to celebrate the people who make this place such a great one, to live, work and play, our volunteers. The start of this year has once again highlighted the extraordinary power of our volunteering. Across our region and beyond, people have stepped forward to help others, responding to fires, floods, and other emergencies with generosity, courage, and compassion. When our community needed support, people put up their hands, often at short notice, without expectation of recognition. And to each and every one of you, we say thank you. Your action reminds us the strength of our community and the spirit that defines us. We know that our towns and communities would not be the vibrant, connected places they are without volunteers, whether it's through emergency services, sporting clubs, community groups, local events, or quietly supporting neighbours behind the scenes. Volunteers give their time, skills, and energy to strengthen Corangamite every single day. The volunteers we recognise today often work tirelessly without fanfare, yet their contribution makes a lasting difference. They inspire us through their commitment, kindness, and dedication, and today is our opportunity to thank those efforts and celebrate the impact they have on our communities. Australia Day is also a time to come together, to connect with family, friends and neighbours, and to celebrate the shared values that unite us. As Australians, we can be rightly proud of who we are as a nation. We share a commitment to Australia and all its people, to values such as respect, fairness, democracy, the rule of law, and a fair go for all. As part of today's celebration, we are honoured to recognise the remarkable achievements and contributions of individuals through the Citizen of the Year and the Young Citizen of the Year awards. These awards shine a light on people whose actions strengthen our community and reflect the very best of what it means to be Australian. Today we come together as a community of many cultures, backgrounds and experiences, united by a shared connection to this place and a shared commitment to building a future for Corangamite that we can all be proud of. So thank you for being here today, for joining in these wonderful celebrations. Please stay and enjoy the community lunch following the formalities, a chance to connect, reflect and celebrate together. Happy Australia Day. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Tony Murphy, AFSM. Tony is a highly respected leader in emergency management. With a career spanning senior roles across Victoria's emergency services, he has served as Deputy Commissioner and Director at Emergency Management Victoria, as well as Fire Service Commissioner at the Metropolitan Fire Brigade. Throughout his career, Tony has played a key role in preparing for and responding to major emergencies, including the St. Patrick's Day fires in 2018, where his leadership helped guide communities through challenging and uncertain times. Tony's contributions to emergency management have been recognised at a national level, including being awarded the Australian Fire Service Medal. Today, Tony will share his extensive emergency management experience and speak about the importance of community resilience, something that resonates strongly with us all, particularly in regional and rural communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Tony Murphy.
Thank you for a flattering opening, Katie. Just doing my job, but anyhow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and our dignitaries, Mayor Kate Macon, and also your colleague councillors and the CEO from the Shire. Very warm welcome. It's my privilege to be with you on Australia Day 2026 at the historic Camperdown Theatre Royale, something I will be boasting about when in conversation with my friends and family, because there's not too many people I know that would even know that this exists, but what a place. So that's going home with me, and it'll be a topic of conversation. There's no shadow of a doubt, and Katie, you did a fantastic introduction about how lucky we are to live in this country and to actually live within the Corangamite Shire, and I'll expose a bit more about that as we go through this particular presentation. And it is right, Corangamite Shire is rightfully celebrating its community volunteers through the announcements of the Citizen of the Year, the Young Citizen of the Year, and the Community Event of the Year, and it adds to this special day. But all of these awards are nominated by the community, which is to be applauded. So it's people out there that actually get to consume and use all of these particular efforts of people that don't get paid, as Katie pointed out, that turn up whether it's rain, hail or shine, and continue to support people and connect with people. In reaffirming real meanings of today, what it means to be an Australian, your peers have identified you and the work that you do as something special, and you should be really proud of your efforts, which makes a real difference to people's lives and your community. Furthermore, I would like to acknowledge and congratulate all of the people who have been nominated today and the people who have preceded you, because they've built something special, and it is special in Corangamite. It's an extraordinary achievement what you've done, and you are all of the champions that we are adorning today on this great day. There's telling evidence that recognises strong, resilient communities are communities that have exemplary volunteer participation from community members. And there is undoubtedly that particular looking out there today. I can see the Scouts, and I'm sure there's Girl Guides, and we'll talk a little bit more about the connections that occur within Camperdown, but also right across the Shire. These bold communities have the ability to bounce forward from the shocks and stresses that their community invariably experience, which are becoming all too common. You and your efforts create the glue that binds members of a society, fostering a sense of belonging, trust, shared values, and solidarity, enabling people to live well together and work together towards common goals. Your work builds riches in many endeavours and demonstrated by Camperdown and surrounds being viewed as a beautiful, must-see part of the world. Your work influences what people see and feel when they visit Camperdown and continue to keep coming back. Your efforts deliver valuable dividends right across the community, both directly from a financial and economic perspective, and indirectly through creating a sense of pride and selflessness across the Camperdown and Corangamite community. Camperdown and Corangamite is a well-connected community. This is evident with the number of clubs that operate successfully across the town and is mirrored across the Shire, whether it is running, tennis, golf, football, lawn bowls, book clubs, historical societies, racing clubs, archery, badminton, squash, water skiing, yachting, a theatre company, lakes and crater bands, and Corangamite arts. The operation of such clubs, and I probably left some out unknowingly, so I apologise for that. Such clubs requires a lot of volunteers and their time to bring people together. Their actions result in greater social cohesion. It relies on a lot of people to work together to make a difference and build a cohesive township and shire. Connection is key to success when a community is under stress. There is no shadow of a doubt about it, and I have seen it firsthand, and it is something that is palpable, and you always know that there's always going to be a great ending when you've got a really connected community. The better connection determines the results that will emanate during and after an emergency, because it's not just the response. We've got communities that are damaged, impacted and traumatised from it, and that's part of the recovery, which is the important part, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. It provides the foundations for connecting and supporting communities, particularly in a crisis, that connection. And I must say at this time a big thank you to the emergency response agencies, and Katie, you've stolen a bit of my thunder, the CFA, SES, Police Ambulance, Council, team members and other volunteer groups who have been working tirelessly before Christmas, today, and will certainly be called on into the future. I'm sure many are deployed across the state right now and are working to make communities safe. And that's a theme that I'll be presenting to you today. To our volunteers, your selfless acts contribute to the greatness of the nation, whether it be friends, floods, fires, motor vehicle accidents or other emergencies. We know you will respond. Whether it be rain, hail or shine, in dangerous environments, we know you will respond and do your job without fear or favour. You make us so proud to be an Australian, and that's part of our characteristic, that's part of our life, that's part of our DNA, to help people when they're in trouble. In doing my research on Camperdown, because we're in Camperdown today, I was fascinated by the substantial number of celebrities that hail from Camperdown, from a range of fields, including Australian rules football, and I must declare that I'm a Geelong supporter, so I hope there's a couple in the room. But one of the things was that there's quite a substantial number of people that played for Geelong from Camperdown. Ken Hinkley, of course, but there's many, many more. And I've been told by my wife, if I didn't also sort of acknowledge that there are Essendon champions, given that her following Essendon, she was going to make me walk home. So that was a very difficult proposition. So we've had Olympians, netballers, cyclists, and many, many, many more people. But one of the community stars that piqued my interest was a gentleman by the name of Geoffrey Wickham. He's only recently died within the last 2 years. A show of hands if anyone actually knows who he is or what he did. No, there's a few. Did I get a... Yeah, no hands. No. Well, his fame, he was a talented bioengineer, and among a range of engineering innovations was the pioneer of the cardiac pacemaker. So many people in this room today, me excluded, would certainly see this as an amazing achievement, and just shows the eclectic nature of the communities that are across Corangamite and their achievements. Additionally, to the heroes that have come out of Camperdown and Corangamite, there is a rich history in the town that recognises and draws many people into the area to look at a variety of things, including the architectural features that are stunning when you drive into the town, including the clock tower, the theatre we are in today, that's going to get milked, the opportunity to view the life-size statue of Robert Burns and participate in the Robert Burns Festival. So all of these things are about, like proudness, being proud of where you live, but also making sure that we see that we do live in a really, really fantastic environment. I apologise if I have overlooked any other clubs or attractions that give purpose and meaning to the lives of residents and visitors to Camperdown. Camperdown definitely punches above its weight from my research in terms of the 3,300 plus people who have contributed creating a special community to be proud of and honour. The person that was behind me attending today, Joe, said I've got to talk about myself, and I don't really feel comfortable in doing that because it's about teams, it's about people, it's about communities, it's about outcomes. So about me, I'm a proud Australian and cherish the freedoms and the opportunities that this country offers to all of us. We are young and we are free. And that warms and drives me. In my formative years, I grew up in South Morang, where my grandparents operated the South Morang Hotel, and I haven't got a drinking problem, so I'm not going to disclose that today, which at the time was considered to be a rural town. It's like quite urbanised now. It's out past north of Bundoora and near Mernda, which was famous. Lionel Rose, a world champion boxer, made that famous. The significance of this did not dawn on me until later. I grew older and wiser when I was in the fire service. It struck me that communities hold the key to enriching people's lives. Life was not just solely about work, but the interactions we have with our neighbours, our friends and our families. Our institutions and these connections set up as individuals and as communities to be successful and have a meaningful life. And I think that was where Katie her themes were all about, that connectivity and about our friends, our families, our neighbours. So its importance cannot be overstated, this connection, particularly during the shocks and stresses. And when I'm talking about shocks and stresses, it's about when you have those events that we haven't been planned for, like fire, flood and so forth that was discussed. This belief drove me right throughout my life and does today. During my career in the MFB as the chief, I was focused on trying to prevent things from occurring, and when they did happen, the response and service that people received was beyond excellence. It also involved focus on improving and training and development of team members, innovation in equipment, and integrating across the emergency management network so that services were seamless, joined up, and with a focus on the community and individuals as of paramount importance. After 10 plus years as the chief of the MFB, Victoria experienced one of the most unrestrained catastrophes on this planet. On Saturday, the 7th of February 2009, the unprecedented Black Saturday fire occurred that resulted in 173 people dying, 414 others injured, damage and destruction to over 3,500 structures, of which 2,000 were people's homes. So could you imagine that? The impact and then the recovery of that particular event. There was damage done to various community infrastructure, including bridges, reservoirs, transport networks and other community lifelines, including energy sources. So all of the lifelines like water, gas, electricity, gone. So plus your house. So we've got to actually, instigate emergency relief and recovery to actually bring people back, to give them the fundamentals, and doing that while people are traumatised, losing their major asset. There was over 450,000 hectares of land impacted by the fire. This included the urban fringe, farmlands and forested areas. Over 11,000 animals were destroyed by the fire, and countless numbers of crops and silage were ruined. Just gives you a bit of a perspective. It's not about horror or anything like that, but it just, in this particular sphere, in this particular area where we're seeing sort of extreme weather conditions, these are the results. It was a horrific time during following this fire, which impacted directly and indirectly on individuals and communities. The government of the day moved to conduct a Royal Commission into the fires. The Royal Commission made 67 recommendations, one of which was the appointment of a Fire Service Commissioner, which transformed into the Emergency Management Victoria, led by an Emergency Management Commissioner. It was Craig Lapsley. I'm sure there's many in the room that know Craig. I was lucky to become the Deputy Emergency Management Commissioner. After considering all of the recommendations, it was clear that the following problems had to be addressed as a priority. And we got a very, very big pep talk from the government of the day that there was no option, failure was not an option. So we set out about the first was a non-negotiable. The community had to be at the centre of everything that was done. The team at Emergency Management Victoria pursued this goal actively and vigorously and ensured all of the other agencies, the other organisations within the emergency management sector were in lockstep and working with their communities in the before, the event, the during and the after phases of an emergency. There was a commitment to systems thinking, so it was community at the centre. That was the mantra that drove it. There was a commitment to systems thinking. This was designed to develop a joined-up force of people working with the same intent across the sector, really a cultural change. We work as one was the mantra, and everyone was demanded and held accountable to work as an integrated emergency service. The culture was moved from a siloed mentality to a joined-up force that managed all emergencies and all hazards. This approach involved improving technologies, sharing information across the state and Australia and the world, and also being receptive to what was going on outside. So there was a period of innovation after Black Saturday. Providing communities with timely, tailored and relevant information was another critical component that was required to be addressed. It was on the public record that Black Saturday saw enormous failure and collapse of the warning systems because people were looking for information to make decisions. Communities were being put at risk because they did not have information to make the right decisions in a timely manner for their particular circumstance. We saw that fires had actually decimated towns and warnings were being issued after the fires had actually moved on to the next town. That's how bad it was. We saw that the website froze and that people couldn't actually get information. We saw that information couldn't be transferred to become intelligence so that people could make the right decisions in the deployment of firefighters and aviation assets. So the system could not handle the demand for information. There was inconsistency in the presentation and the interpretation meaning of warnings to communities. Vic Emergency was born from that particular failure and developed and was seen to be the benchmark across Australia and the world. And it's the current go-to website now, and it's been developed exceptionally over the last decade or more. It was one of a myriad of technological advances made to ensure the community was at the centre of what was done. Capability enhancement was a further focus, which involved having the right aviation assets located in areas commensurate with the risk and changing the profile of the type of aircraft assets. This model resulted in a fleet that has massive water carrying capacity, greater speed and the ability to operate at night. It's the envy of many of the overseas fire services and emergency services because it's not just about fire, it's about all hazards. So there's as many floods as there are fires, unfortunately. And the investment dedicated to raising the capability and governance of incident management teams was another area that was to improve practice out in the field so that there was an integrated approach, because on Black Saturday it was very, very uncoordinated. And it was a very, very strong issue that caused a lot of the problems. People were doing their own things, which was the Royal Commission was highly critical about, and highly critical of a number of individuals. So we're moving forward, and I've been fortunate and unfortunate in my dealings in emergency management with Corangamite. Unfortunate because of the nature of the events that have happened on my watch. The fires of St Patrick's Day that Katie referred to is firmly impaled on my brain. The fires of St Patrick's Day in 2018, fortunate to see the changes we had promised post-Black Saturday had made it out into the field and were prominent in the during and after phases of this terrible fire. From my very first visit to Camperdown, I have been impressed with the professionalism and dedication of the leaders who play a pivotal role in managing emergencies in the Corangamite Shire footprint. I can remember vividly early one Sunday morning travelling to Camperdown for a pre-season readiness exercise at the showgrounds. It was a freezing morning, bitterly cold. I was taken aback by the number of people who attended from a variety of agencies, predominantly the CFA, who were enthusiastic and focused on completing the activities that had been planned just up at the showgrounds to ensure the community received the best possible service during the upcoming fire season. It was the first occasion to meet one of the true Corangamite legends, Councillor Jo Beard, and I mean that sincerely. You know, she was there at early hours and never left until, you know, like after lunch. And I thought, you're a pretty impressive person, you know, like really, and knew everyone, looking out, and not only like just interested in what was going on, she was also like scanning to make sure that the community people, she was getting the goss, but importantly she was looking at, you know, taking a temperature of how people were travelling. So, you know, the things that a lot of people don't actually understand what's going on. The next occasion I interacted with Corangamite was the fire on St Patrick's Day 2018. I was on duty as the State Response Controller at the State Response Control Centre. And so everyone's going out at 6 o'clock and they're going, and it was a day similar to what's predicted for tomorrow and what we've experienced of late. Everyone's going, you're right, there's nothing there, you know, it's all good, no, you know, put your feet up. And so we've got like a room full of about 200 people. And I'm thinking, okay, so that's 6 o'clock. Anyhow, at 9 o'clock, we start getting call after call after call after call after a lot of the electrical assets were failing and starting fires. So we had a big theatre of fire. I will never forget the day. The fire was driven by winds of over 100 kilometres per hour. There were multiple fire starts across the district and fires ran hard. The fire consumed over 40,000 hectares basically that evening and into the next morning. 27 homes were unfortunately lost, and I do apologise if there are people that went through that. I'm not trying to do this to traumatise you. I apologise if, and please, you know, I'd love to have a chat with you, and 40 sheds, countless amounts of fencing, 219 farms were impacted, over 4,000 livestock and tons of fodder were destroyed from that particular fire. Consequently, from that fire, there were 10 peat bog fires that resulted, which provided large plumes of smoke over a number of the townships in the area, which was very, very challenging from a health perspective. So you think, we've put the fire out, we've dealt with the fire, thankfully no one was injured or died. Then we had this predicament, and so it was, you know, an amazing situation. The emergency concluded on the 10th of May 2018, a total of 50 days after commencement of this Black Swan event. The operation involved thousands of firefighters and other emergency service workers. There was basically a number of medical centres set up so that on a daily basis we were actually making sure, taking people's account of their health to make sure that the smoke wasn't impacting. We had to evacuate, as most of the people in the room would know, a nursing home, and there were all sorts of other interventions that were put in place for public benefit. It involved 28 different agencies working together to support the community heading towards a new norm. The recovery effort was exceptionally complex, but through an innovative, empathetic, inclusive, partnership and strategic approach, the outcomes delivered certainly enabled the community to come together and work through many issues. The leadership and communication delivered through the period was stellar and has redefined the need for tailored and community-led recovery. I cherish what I saw and the leadership that was displayed during the period over a long period of time. One of the striking learnings for me was that no one was left behind, and it was based on physical loss and mental health and well-being. So, in concluding, thank you for the kind invitation today to join you to celebrate a memorable day in our calendar. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you on this wonderful day. To our nominees and to our winners of today's prestigious awards, please take the time to reflect on and celebrate the contribution you make that builds such a resilient community, and think about how you as a community leader can influence others to follow in your footsteps to ensure the momentum continues. Thank you very much. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Tony. It was wonderful to hear your insights and knowledge, and particularly as we assist in the recovery with our Skipton community who are feeling it at the moment. I would now like to introduce Leanne Whitehead, our 2025 Citizen of the Year. Leanne is a committed and dedicated community volunteer whose contributions to Timboon is widely recognised. Inspired by her family's long history of community involvement, she continues this legacy through her many volunteer roles. Leanne currently serves as Secretary of the Timboon Recreation Reserve, Committee of Management and the Timboon Action, and is a regular volunteer at Timboon Parkrun and was the Secretary of the Planning Committee for the Timboon's fantastic 150th birthday celebration. She is also the editor of the Timboon Railway Gazette and was instrumental in developing the Timboon Makers and Farmers Market. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Leanne Whitehead, our 2025 Citizen of the Year.
Thanks very much, Kate. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I'm not great at this, but I'll have a go. I've been asked to speak about how I felt when I received the Corangamite Shire Volunteer Award last year.
Sorry, I just have to do this to you. There you go, try now.
I recall feeling really humbled that anyone would think that I was worthy of the nomination, but then I felt gratitude. I was grateful that the members of the community took the time and effort to nominate me, and I felt grateful that the Corangamite Shire holds the Australia Day Awards and that they show gratitude to the volunteers that contribute for the betterment of all our communities. I felt grateful to my family who have helped tirelessly and massively along the way, and I felt grateful for everybody that I've worked with alongside encouraging and sharing all the workload. Thank you. A lot of those are here today. I accepted the award on behalf of everyone who I've ever worked with, as it takes a team to get things done. I've met amazing people throughout volunteering and I feel that they've become lifelong friends. It's been very rewarding to see completed projects that you help achieve, and yeah, we've got a major one happening at the moment at the Rec Reserve with the tennis court upgrade, and when it's done, it'll be a massive achievement. We all gain so much by giving, and that's why we're all in the room today. I'm sure everybody here feels the same way. I was looking to what I felt I needed to do for next year or going forward, and really I just think little things matter and that we all just really need to just care. So as I stated last year, if by winning this award shows people that you can make a difference, then I'm grateful for the acknowledgement. I'd like to thank the Corangamite Shire for celebrating volunteers. Thanks to everyone for supporting each other through volunteering, and thanks for giving me the privilege of continuing to volunteer in the community. Congratulations to all the nominees today and the award recipients this morning for everything that you do. The award reflects your hard work, your passion, and the impact that you make every day on your communities. And if I may, just for a minute, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Macon, the fellow councillors and staff for the wonderful job that you're all doing in these challenging times. For your commitment and care to everyone, doing it tough. We're all very grateful. The work you're doing to get the best outcomes for everyone is really appreciated. And I just want to acknowledge this great work that you're all doing. So thank you, and happy birthday, Terry O'Connor.
Thank you, Leanne, for your address and for everything you do for the Timboon community and Corangamite Shire. We will now begin the presentation of our Citizen Awards. These awards are presented by Corangamite Shire to local citizens and groups who have made an outstanding contribution to the community, either through a single action or over a number of years. Nominations for awards were sought from our community through public advertisements and a media campaign across the Shire, with 23 nominations received across the 3 categories. There is no doubt that our award recipients for 2026 have made a significant contribution to their communities, and they are all thoroughly deserve the honour receiving an Australia Day award. There are 3 major awards today: the 2026 Citizen of the Year Award, the 2026 Young Citizen of the Year Award, and the 2026 Community Event of the Year Award. We will also present 19 Achievement Awards. And this year, we're doing things a little bit different. We will do a Q&A with our winners to truly highlight their achievements. I'd like to invite fellow councillor Joe Beard to join me on stage to present the 2026 Citizen of the Year Award. In 2026, the Corangamite Shire Citizen of the Year is being awarded to 2 people, Marilyn and Gary Kimber. Marilyn and Gary Kimber truly exemplify what it means to be community volunteers. Residents of Cobden for 40 years, Gary and Marilyn come to town for 5 years and stayed for a lifetime of service. Married for 50 years, their partnership has extended well beyond their home and into every corner of Cobden and the wider Corangamite community. Together, they have contributed more than 55 years of voluntary service, driven by a genuine love for their town and a strong desire to give back. Gary has been a dedicated Rotarian since 1994, holding almost every leadership role within the Rotary Club of Cobden. His service has been recognised with the Paul Harris Fellowship and an Avenue of Service Award. Gary's passion for youth, seniors and community development is reflected in his work with Rotary Youth Exchange, the Community Bank, Progress in Cobden, the Cobden Information Centre, and as president of the Corangamite U3A, where the organisation continues to grow and thrive. Marilyn, while preferring to work quietly behind the scenes, has made an extraordinary impact. She has been the driving force of the Cobden Art Group, coordinating expeditions, community art projects and mentoring new members. She is also a long-standing volunteer with U3A, where she creates inclusive programs and fosters learnings, connections and friendships, particularly for seniors. Together, Marilyn and Gary have supported countless Rotary and community events, welcomed newcomers, hosted exchange students, and created opportunities for people to connect, belong, and thrive. They seek no recognition, only a strong, welcoming community. And it is this selflessness, commitment, and long life dedication that makes Marilyn and Mr. Kimber so deserving of recognition. So please join me in congratulating Marilyn and Mr. Kimber, Corangamite Shire Citizens of the Year. Yep, we'll do the
photo. You're all right doing that? Just a little backstory as to why Kate called Mr. Kimber Mr. Kimber. Mr. Kimber and Mrs. Kimber were my teachers in primary school, and Mr. Kimber was Kate's teacher in secondary school. So I think they've done all right with their students. So not sure my artwork has improved over the years, though, Mrs. Kimber, sorry. So Kate and I both still find it very hard to call them Gary and Marilyn, but it's my absolute honour to be here up here with Kate to congratulate them on this award. And you can definitely feel the love from these two too, so I think that's an omen as to why they're still able to be together and doing what they do. Tony, you'll be glad to know, just a shout out for Cobden, Mr. Kimber is an avid Essendon supporter where Zach Merritt hails from, so we've got to get that one in, so Alyssa, you'll be happy with that one. There you go. So we're going to just have a little, as Kate said, something different this year, a little bit of a Q&A, and Mr. Kimber, I know you are definitely going to want to say a few words, so Kate, we just assume this is going to happen regardless. Anyone who knows Gary knows that he loves a microphone, so we'll definitely, we'll enable that in just a moment. Okay, let me find where I'm up to. Okay, so the first question is, you came to Cobden for 5 years, ended up staying for over, 40. So can you tell us what it was about the community that made it feel like a home for you guys? Oh, come over to the microphone. Actually, can we do roaming mic? Hang on. Oh, I don't want to muck it up. You come over here, perhaps. There you go.
Yes, we did come for 40 years. I was 40 years ago. We were coming for 5 because I was a career person and I saw this as a stepping stone, and lucky enough, I was principal in Cobden, then principal at Terang with the new P12 system, and then principal at Camperdown College. So we were lucky to stay, so we didn't have to move. And 40 years ago, next week, I had my first teaching group in Cobden, and we hope to have a reunion very soon. What's made it special was the amazing support people gave to everything. We were in the cricket club, and everybody got on with everybody else. You went somewhere and people looked after you. The kids who are little, Joel and Megan, who are here today, they had in a babysitting club. Everything was just for families. And that's probably the major thing.
We might alternate the answers. How does that sound, Marilyn, just to get you involved? Okay, between the two of you, you've volunteered for more than the 5 decades. What has kept you motivated to keep saying yes to doing what you do?
Well, we love what we do, and I think it's the pleasure that we get when we see people enjoying themselves or people interacting. We're very lucky that we've transcended a lot of age groups. So we get little kids that come to the mini golf and everything. We get the older people going to U3A and just seeing the enjoyment, and you know, they get as much out of it as we do. So that's probably, yeah.
volunteering together for so many years is obviously pretty special. For a lot of people, it's often their time out away from each other, but you two seem to like doing it together. So what's the secret to working as a team and still actually enjoying it?
I suppose when you're married for 50 years, there's got to be something in terms of a team, and all those here who've been married that long would know that. It's the secret of we both have our separate activities, but we support each of our activities. The team side of it, I find is pretty easy because we can do that. If we need help, if I need help for something, we get it. That whole team thing is so important, and it helps the whole volunteering. It makes volunteering easy because Marilyn and I just plan it accordingly and away we go. We love doing it. I've been retired for 20 years but been volunteering for a lot more than that, and I'll explain that in my 3-hour speech in a moment. So there you go.
I wasn't game to say short and snappy, Mr. Kimber, but anyway, I think we're getting there. I haven't been given away from Kate just yet. So, okay, both of you have spent a lifetime supporting others. Is there a particular moment or an experience that you can recall on that really sticks in your mind? I think they were prepped for these questions, is that right?
No.
No. Oh, I've got him stumped. Oh, okay. One each.
When I received the Paul Harris Fellowship from Rotary, the highest award a Rotarian can get anywhere in the world.
I get a real buzz when I've been part of the organising of anything, and I just love the art shows that the art group put together. It's a group of individuals that all sort of meld together, and then to actually put on a weekend where we've got people coming from all over the Shire for something that we've orchestrated. It's just fun to be able to see it all come together.
And finally, what would you say to someone in the community, especially new people in the community, as to what they should do if they're thinking about volunteering, and what's the best way for them to start to look at that?
There are so many opportunities in Corangamite to do volunteering. It's just a matter of working out your strengths and going from there. Part of my speech is that volunteering is not about doing everything, it's about doing something. So if you're at all interested in any of the organisations, the clubs, the groups in town, try and find someone that you can connect with and just ask them, would there be any opportunity that I could help? You don't actually have to join the organisation. Just say, look, I don't want to be part of the organisation, but I'd love to give you a bit of help if you ever need it. Just give me a buzz if that opportunity arises. So there is so much to be gained by being a volunteer that give it a shot if you haven't already. Thank you.
Pretty decent off script, hey? So thank you to you both. Kate, we're going to enable these guys to have a little, because I know they have prepared a speech. And can I just say the amount of people that are in this room and upstairs, for those downstairs that can't see, upstairs is pretty much full as well. I would pretty much guarantee that most people in this room would somehow have had something to do in their lifetime with both Gary and Marilyn, so it's really special to be up here with you both. Thank you. Thank you, Kate, for enabling me to be part of this. I'll pass it over to Marilyn first. Thank you.
Good morning from two very proud Cobdenites. We're truly honoured and very humbled to receive this recognition. To Calvin and Janine White, the Corangamite Shire, and whoever decided we are worthy of this honour, thank you so much. To all nominees for today's awards, Your recognition reflects the important work you are doing in your community. When we look around this theatre, we see so many people who give so much of themselves in volunteering. To be recognised amongst such generous and dedicated people is incredibly humbling.
That's not the end of Marilyn. This is a tag team. So, over 50 years of volunteering between us. It's amazing when we look back. Volunteering started for us when I joined Rotary 33 years ago, and hence the shirt I'm wearing today, because I'm very proudly still a member. I'd like to thank our very good friend and former Corangamite Citizen of the Year, Alan Sarge Hart. Would you please stand up? He's there somewhere. Alan is the person who forced me into Rotary. But boy, was it the best decision I could make. And also to another former Corangamite Citizen of the Year, Frank Martin. Where are you, Frank? Frank's been a very good friend and supporter of me and Rotary for all of those years. And since joining Rotary, volunteering has played a huge part in our lives, particularly since we retired, and I retired 20 years ago.
So volunteering for us is very much like a team effort, as I have always been actively involved with Gary's clubs and organisations, as well as at my own interest groups, and he's always returned the support to me. I'd like to thank the organisations, clubs and community groups that we've had the good fortune to work with. You are the backbone of the community, and what our volunteering contribution does is help individuals, which in turn helps communities.
So why did we decide to volunteer all those years ago? Pardon me. For all the time I was principal in Cobden, Terang and Camperdown, and Marilyn taught in Cobden, Simpson and Terang, we were continually asking parents to be volunteers for activities in the school for their kids and for the kids in our care, because we wanted to make our schools the best we could possibly do, and we required that community support. So when we retired, we thought it's time for us to give back exactly what all those parents had done for all those years. Our volunteering has included, and it's not all of them, of course, Cobden Rotary, Cobden Mini Golf, Cobden Mini Trains, lots of Cobden sports groups, Cobden Cubs, the Cobden Uniting Church Art Group, the Cobden Information Centre, the Cobden and Camperdown Community Bank, and Corangamite U3A.
We're both very fortunate that the rewards from our volunteering comes from all ages, from the toddlers enjoying the Cobden Easter extravaganza and mini golf, to the seniors who take part in the U3A activities, to the out-of-towners and Shire residents who have enjoyed the Cobden Art Show, the Cobden Mini Golf and the Mini Trains. There's such a huge range of ages and abilities, and all ending up with wonderfully happy faces. We both enjoy all we do with various groups, and will continue to do all we can to make our communities a better place in which to live. To those of you who are considering volunteering but have not yet taken the first step, please know there is a place for you. Volunteering is not about doing everything, it's about doing something. Your actions matter, and even small contributions can make a huge difference. A smile or a show of gratitude from the receiver is a great reward for a volunteer. In the end, volunteering transcends both the giver and the receiver.
So when we look at volunteering, what's it provided for us? Without a doubt, a sense of usefulness, not that we weren't useful, I suppose, but a purpose, many rewards, exciting possibilities, so much joy, happiness, community acceptance and fun whilst enriching and binding communities. For us, it's provided avenues not previously available. We were stuck in our teaching roles and we didn't do anything else. It's created many new friendships and has provided many fond memories, and I'm sure lots more. We all know we live in a complex world, but we're lucky we live in a rural area because it allows us to do so much.
Thank you to everyone who has supported us. Our family, Joel, Nick, Izzy, Lucy, Sophie, Megan, Brad, Alex, Sammy and Kaylee. And thank you also to our extended families. To all our friends and colleagues, our award belongs to you all as much as it does us.
Finally, we wish to acknowledge that many of the Shire residents to the north of us and to the south have been deeply affected by recent bushfires. We all have them in our thoughts and know that they are receiving the necessary help they so badly need. Thanks to volunteers, and Tony mentioned lots of them, and to the Shire. Finally, very finally, Happy Australia Day, everyone.
And
Once again, thank you.
Once an educator, always an educator.
Thank you very much, Mr Kimber, Marilyn, and congratulations once again. And I've heard this is the first award Marilyn has ever won, so why not go off with a bang and win Citizen of the Year? So well done. I'd now like to invite Councillor Ruth Castrain and Councillor Jamie Bogles to present the Young Citizen of the Year award with me, please. I now take great pleasure in announcing the 2026 Corangamite Shire Citizen of the Year. And once again, we have dual winners. Congratulations to Bentley Currell and Ben Matthews. Bentley Currell is proof that age is no barrier to making a real difference. At just 11 years old, Bentley has already shown the determination, empathy and courage of someone far beyond his years. A student at Camperdown College, Bentley is inspired by people who use physical challenges to create positive change, and he's already following in their footsteps. In 2023, as a 10-year-old, Bentley rode his bike from Camperdown to Cobden to raise money for the Epilepsy Foundation, motivated by compassion for a fellow student who lives with severe seizures. Through sheer determination, Bentley raised an incredible $1,300. But Bentley wasn't finished, and I don't think he still is finished. His next goal was even bigger, riding his bike from Mildura to Camperdown, a journey of around 550 kilometres, to raise funds for the Brain Cancer Foundation. The cause is deeply personal, inspired by a loss of beloved community member's son. Bentley was only 12 years old when he took on this challenge and raised almost $26,000. Bentley's actions reminds us all that kindness, courage and leadership can come from anyone, even our youngest community members. Congratulations, Bentley Currell. Can you please join me on stage? Now to our second Young Citizen of the Year. Ben Matthews is an outstanding young leader whose commitment to service is felt right across Corangamite Shire. Ben lives by the values of volunteering, responsibility and leadership, and he brings them to life through his extraordinary involvement in the Port Campbell Surf Lifesaving Club. A volunteer lifesaver since 2015, Ben has contributed more than 300 voluntary patrol hours, held over 75 life-saving qualifications, and plays a vital role keeping locals and visitors safe along our coastline. As a patrol captain, trainer, assessor and coach, Ben leads teams in both routine patrols and high-pressure emergency situations. He does so with calm confidence, strategic thinking and genuine care for those around him. His dedication to mentoring others have influenced more than 150 club members, strengthening both skills and cultures within the club. Beyond life-saving, Ben is an advocate for healthy, active lifestyles through his leadership in surf sports, fundraising events, football and community initiatives. He is respected by his peers, younger members and senior leaders alike, not just for what he does, but how he does it. Ben's impact extends far beyond the beach. He is a role model, a mentor, an ambassador for our Shire, constantly stepping forward to make his community safer, stronger and more connected. Congratulations, Ben. Please come forward. How wonderful to have two inspiring young people receiving this year's award. Ben and Bentley, Councillor Castrain and Councillor Vogels will ask you a few questions, but Bentley, would you like to say a few words first? Do you want to say some words? Yeah. Jump up there. I'll hold this for you. There you go. You say a few words.
I am honoured to be standing in front of you all today and for having the opportunity to represent your youth our youth in the Young Australians of the Year award in the Corangamite Shire region. However, unfortunately, I am only here for one reason today. The reason is because of our school receptionist, Amy Stevenson, lost her son, Lockie, to the world's biggest killer of children, brain cancer. The death of Lockie not only took an incredible toll on Amy and her family, but also the entire Camperdown College students and teachers. So for this reason, last year on April 15th, my dad and I set off to ride 520 kilometres from Mildura back to Camperdown to raise money and awareness for the Brain Cancer Centre. The aim was to ride 50 kilometres a day over 10 days to complete the journey. At first it was sort of easy with nice weather and light winds. However, the closer we got to home, the windier it became and the weather got even worse. By day 7 we were facing 40 kilometre per hour headwinds, and the last 10 kilometres of that day were the hardest cycling I've ever done. It was not just hard physically, but it was also mentally exhausting. And just when you thought it was over, it came back again, and at times it felt like we were riding backwards. But with the consistent thought of Lockie in the back of our minds, I was able to push through and finish the ride into Camperdown with amazing support from the town, school, family and friends who were waiting for me at the clock tower. We were eventually able to raise almost $26,000 for such an incredible cause, and showed that if you put your mind to something, it can be achieved. We were also lucky enough to be part of Carrie Bickmore's team in the 2025 Point to Pinnacle Half Marathon, which consisted of us walking up Mount Wellington for 21.2 kilometres. This was an incredible experience that we got to share with some amazing people, all doing the same thing for a good cause. So that's it for me. I'd like to thank everyone who has helped me, not with the ride, but has helped me through life and schooling and helped me realise that anything is possible. Thank you again for this amazing award.
Thank you, Councillor Macon. And Bentley, that was amazing. And I remember being at the town square when you rode into town and gave me goosebumps to see everybody there and to recognise the amazing determination that you showed on completing that ride for brain cancer, which we know is very close to our hearts here in Camperdown. I noticed that you've got your badge on, which represents Lockie Stevenson. And I saw in today's age that Sam McGuan wore his Lockie Stevenson badge when he met the Prime Minister at the Lodge last night. So that's fairly exciting. I've got some question and answers for you, and congratulations to you, Ben, an absolute gem down at Port Campbell Life Saving Club. We are so lucky to have you, and we've had a number of winners of this award, so you're joining a fairly elite group. So well done on what you do for your community. Okay, now, where am I? Back a page. Now, Bentley. Today is about celebrating community, and actually it's for both of you, but we'll start with you, Bentley. Today is about celebrating community and giving back. What does being part of your local community mean to each of you? Is it turned on?
For me, it really means seeing everyone come together as one and seeing the community come together and how everyone met at the clock tower. Not everyone had to come, but they still did, and it was a really good opportunity to see how a small community came together, and you definitely wouldn't get that in the city.
Did you have anything you want to say to add on to that, Ben? No, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, well, this one's for you.
Thanks, Bentley, and one for you, Ben. What do you find most rewarding about mentoring and training younger members of the life-saving groups and sport?
It's rewarding to be part of a training group that's at the surf club has been going on for a very long time. For the role models that I've had, to be able to give back and hopefully be a role model for someone else is quite rewarding in that sense.
Now, Bentley, riding all the way from Mildura to Camperdown, you've talked a little bit about that already. What was the most challenging thing about riding so far? And I think there might be a story in there about some dodgy prawns.
We were at, I can't remember where we were, but we hadn't gone out for tea any night, so we felt that it was a good night to go out for tea. And I love garlic prawns, for anyone that knows me. So I thought, I'll get the garlic prawns, they sound nice. It wasn't a nice choice. At about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was up spewing, and yeah, it was not good. And then there were these guys carrying on in the caravan park, and it wasn't very good. But then the next day, it was really good. I got a message from Ned Brockman, which is my idol. Last night he actually won the Young Citizen of the Year for Australia. And yeah, It was not a good night.
Oh, yeah, thanks for that story, Bentley. We've all been there, be it pork belly or prawns. I feel your pain, brother. So back over to you, Ben. Indeed I can. How's that? Move in. Is there a moment in your volunteering journey that made you realise just how much impact your role can and does have? What was the start of that question? Is there a moment in your volunteering journey that made you realise just how much impact your role could and does have?
Yeah, so a week ago I got a call and an email in regards to this award. I had no idea it was coming up, no idea I'd been nominated. And so to be acknowledged for Young Citizen of the Year, to be acknowledged alongside Bentley, who's an inspiration. I look forward to hearing more about your adventures. I thank Darcy Tribe and Shay Stone for their nomination and their kind words as well. But yeah, sort of this award and this moment is quite enlightening for the work I've done. Thank you.
And finally, one for both of you. What would you say to other young people in Corangamite who want to make a difference but don't know how to start?
Along similar words of Mr. and Mrs. Kimber, if you're interested in anything, there's a place for you in all the organisations around the Shire. Find what you're interested in, what your hobbies are, and I'm sure there's a group that are more than willing to support you in volunteering.
Yeah, I totally agree with Ben. It's a great place to start in a small community because there's anything for anyone. And yeah, it's a really good place to start. So thank you.
You sure? You can. You're right. All right. All right. Thanks, Ben and Bentley, for those great answers, and congratulations to you both. So thank you very much. You can sit down. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Councillor Geraldine Kennedy on the stage to join me presenting the award of the Community Event of the Year. The winner is the Timboon 150 Birthday Celebrations. Can I ask the event organiser present to come forward and accept the award? The Timboon 150 birthday celebration was far more than an anniversary. It was a powerful expression of community pride, connection and history. Come forward, committee. I know you're here. Please come forward. Held over an entire weekend, this special event brought the town together to celebrate 150 years of Timboon, while also welcoming back past residents to reconnect with the place they still call home. It was a celebration that honoured the past, celebrated the present and inspired the next generation. Planned and delivered entirely by volunteers, the event was organised by Timboon Action, who established a dedicated Timboon 150 subcommittee. Countless hours of hard work went into every detail, resulting in a coordinated, inclusive and vibrant celebration. The weekend featured a wide range of activities showcasing Timboon's rich history and community spirit, with something for all ages and interests. From historical displays and storytelling to community gatherings and family-friendly activities, the town was alive with energy, colour and excitement. Importantly, the event created meaningful connections across generations. Knowledge, memories and stories were shared, ensuring that Timboon's history was not only remembered, but passed on to the younger members of the community. The Timboon 150 birthday celebration brought people together. It strengthened bonds, built new relationships, and reminded everyone the power of community when people work together towards a shared goal. For its outstanding volunteer effort, community impact and lasting legacy, the Timboon 150th birthday celebration is a deserving recipient of the Community Event of the Year. You've got a Q&A.
I do. Congratulations to the committee. We heard a lot about the lead up to this incredible event, and it certainly delivered on every facet. I heard it was just fabulous and brought out the whole town and sort of, just sort of grew the community there, and I just think that this committee have every reason to be incredibly proud of what they achieved. So I don't know all of you by name, but I think Leanne, I might be able to direct some questions to you or whoever feels confident enough to answer. We know that when you set out to do an event like this, it starts with a thought and an idea, but it takes so much more to bring a big organisation and an event like this. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of planning and many months. So where did the idea for the 150th celebration begin?
Okay, I'll pass this one on to Enid. She chaired our meetings and the event, and she was there from the start.
Enid's in charge.
Thank you. Thank you for this award. We were very humbled and excited about it. It began, some of us are part of a group called Timboon Action, and it was brought up probably back in after COVID that we should celebrate. So from there, a subcommittee was put together. We had 3 community open meetings to discuss what we would celebrate, how we would celebrate, and we sort of had a good idea when we would celebrate. And from there, I've got a little speech I'd like to say at the end.
Thank you, Enid. We know that this event was planned and delivered entirely by volunteers, and thank you to everyone involved, not just the committee. I'm sure there were lots of other people as well. So what did you learn about your community through the process?
That living in Timboon is a remarkable thing because people come together, they don't know they're doing it, but they do it. And as I said, from the 3 meetings that we had, suggestions were put together, people put their hands up, events happened, and the weekend was unbelievable because it not only reflected Timboon and what it has to offer, but it remembered all the people who'd come and been and done and were doing. And it's remarkable that people are willing to put their hands up and be volunteers. and that made it ever so much easier. I could go through, like Jodie did a lot of the IT work. Faye did a lot of the historical, which we thank Hbury Historical Society. Corrie did a lot of the media. This girl, she organised the ball with the beautiful band or orchestra from down the back. And an event that will never happen again, but by Jove's, it was a great one. These people organised tracks on the Sunday afternoon, which completed our weekend activities. And of course, this dear girl here, who's in everything and is so organised, was the secretary, the blue tack, the everything. And that's why it was such a good event. These people put their hands up, they come together, we questioned, we wondered, we didn't know what we were doing, and yet an event happened and it was brilliant.
Thank you, Enid. Well, we can understand from what Enid has told us that certainly we know that Timboon community and many others as well, of course, have many extraordinary people, and they're extraordinary in their generosity too, and certainly we have that with this 150th celebration committee. So you've touched on it, Enid, a little bit. So welcoming past residents back to Timboon, it was a very special part of the weekend. And what did that mean for Timboon? Maybe even what did it mean for all of you as current residents and past residents as well?
We connected with a lot of our Facebook groups, media, through our past school groups, past community. So I think for them it was an opportunity to come back to Timboon to touch base with the school, you know, people like these guys that are still around. So I think that was the opportunity we had to connect past, future, and the younger generation. You know, the school were behind it. It was a connection of everyone. So I think that was, yeah, well done. Yeah.
Well, you're all an incredible example of generosity. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Now, I know I can't keep Enid away from the microphone for very long, and I think she just wants to say a couple of quick little thank yous, please, and thank you.
Thank you. What wonderful affirmation and recognition. We thank the Corangamite Shire for this Australia Day Award, and we thank you to those who nominated us for the Timboon 150 event. Congratulations to all who have nominated for today's awards. Timboon 150 absorbed every minute of every day in the lead up and preparation. From little things, big things grow. And it certainly did. The number one ingredient that made this celebration the success it was is involving volunteers. The Timboon 150 committee, the subcommittees, and all those who put their hands up and those who were there on the weekend, we thank you. How lucky is Timboon to have such generous, local, committed volunteers who worked together to make a small town come alive in March 8th and 9th last year. The event would not have happened if we did not have volunteers. And what a weekend it was. People came from all over, renewing friendships, recalling days gone by, enhancing the past, connecting with the present, and looking forward to the future. The whole weekend was a brilliant success that superseded all our expectations. Today it is reflected on how much our community rely on volunteers, both here and with the fires and the natural disasters. Thank God for volunteers. And to think, Timboon now has the trifecta. The gold winner of the Tiny Towns in 2024, the Corangamite Citizen of the Year, Leanne Whitehead 2025, and now the Corangamite Shire winner 2026. Thank you. Thank you to all those who made this possible. Timboon 150, Timboon and volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Good job. God bless. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you again. A big congratulations to our winners. We had 23 individual and community groups nominated for these awards. That is a testament to the appreciation our community has for the contribution each and every day for these nominees make. They have made a huge contribution to the vibrancy, the prosperity of their community and to making Corangamite Shire such a great place to live. I would now like to invite Mount Elephant Ward Councillor Nick Cole, Coorimundle Ward Councillor Jamie Vogels and Lura Ward Councillor Laurie Hickey onto the stage to read the citations for all the nominees as we present them with Australia Day Achievement Awards. Can you please make your way to the stage? And as the recipients' names are called, can you please make your way up to the stage to receive your certificate, take a photo with me, lucky you, and then head back down. Thank you very much. Councillor Cole, you are first. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. We're running away behind you.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to invite Rob Rowe to the stage, please. Rob has given more than 25 years. Rob has given more than 25 years of service to the scouting movement, including as a scout leader at Noorat. Passionate about youth and community, Rob supports Anzac commemorations, fundraising for youth participation, and has also served 5 years with the CFA. Congratulations, Rob. Lynn Patzel. Lynn is a tireless advocate for the Noorat community. As Secretary of the Residents Association, Anzac Day Australia organiser and a garage sale volunteer, Lynn is known for her reliability, enthusiasm, determination to see every project through for her community. Congratulations, Lynn. Congratulations. Bruce Twaddle. Bruce makes a quiet but powerful impact in Noorat through kindness, service and generosity. A long-standing Residents Association Vice President, Bruce supports the community events, helps neighbours whenever needed and contributes with warm humility and famously great food. Anna Canady. Anna is a driving force behind Noorat's annual garage sale day, coordinating every detail with energy and precision. She also brings a festive joy as the organiser of Santa's annual village visit. Anna's dedication ensures community traditions continue to thrive. And has a lot of supporters right up the back. You can see them waving for me. Kim McCarthy. Since relocating to Derrinallum, Kim has become a dedicated community leader throughout service to the Community Hall, Progress Committee and local initiatives. Known for his generosity, creativity and musical talent, Kim strengthens community connection through volunteering, hospitality and encouraging wellbeing for residents. And he lives in the best part of the Shire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Margaret Pennell. It's my great pleasure to read. Margaret has been a dedicated volunteer at the Terang Op Shop since opening in 2029, serving almost every Friday. Her contribution helped the shop reach its $1 million milestone alongside her ongoing service to church, international and charity causes. Margaret Pennell. Next, I'd like to call on Grant Myers. Grant Myers has been a valued volunteer at the David Newman Centre in Camperdown since 2013. As a trusted bus driver for community groups, Grant is known for his meticulous preparation, local knowledge, patience and care, and for being a good friend of those he supports. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Myers. Next, I'd like to call on Margaret Tickner. Margaret Tickner has dedicated a lifetime to caring for others, supporting more than 200 children and families across the decades. Even while facing her own health challenges, Margaret continues to give generously, growing produce for others, offering compassion and strength and unwavering community spirit. Margaret Tickner. Hello, Margaret.
Thank you so much.
Next, I'd like to call on Peter James. Peter James has served the Camperdown community for many years through Rotary, through the Clock Tower Committee and local sporting groups. Always ready to help, Peter's a very familiar face at charity fundraisers, community events, and gives his time generously and to support countless local causes. Peter James. Next, I'd like to call on Mary Brown. Mary Brown is a tireless advocate for community, volunteering across St Vincent de Paul, Southwest Healthcare and Cobden Community Health. At 82, a sprightly 82, Mary continues to support seniors by navigating aged care, advocacy and practical assistance, giving a strong voice to those who need it most. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Brown.
Okay, I'd like to call up Kevin Robinson. Kevin Robinson has been a dedicated volunteer with the Western Victorian Axemen's Association for over 11 years. Through tireless commitment to events, mentoring and preserving woodchopping heritage, Kevin has strengthened community connection and ensures the proud rural tradition continues to thrive. Jennifer Cripp. Jennifer Cripp has given 40 years of outstanding service to the Cobram District Historical Society, holding leadership roles including President and Treasurer. At 84, she continues to champion local history through research, storytelling and digital engagement, inspiring thousands while serving multiple community organisations. Michelle Fratantaro. Michelle Fratantaro has made an extraordinary contribution to Timboon and Simpson through lifelong volunteering and community-focused businesses. From community events and fundraising to leadership at the Simpson Recreation Reserve, Michelle's generosity, energy and kindness have enriched both towns and left a lasting and, may I add, a tasty legacy at Timboon. Georgia Copeland. Georgia Copeland exemplifies modern volunteering leadership through her dedication to the Timboon Demons Football Netball Club, to the Port Campbell Surf Lifesaving Club, balancing professional study with extensive volunteering roles. Georgia's innovation, compassion and commitment, including inclusive youth programs, have created a lasting impact across both communities. Dale McIntyre. Dale McIntyre has dedicated a lifetime to community service across fire services, sport, education and Rotary. With 50 years of CFA service and extensive leadership locally and internationally, Dale's generosity, passion and tireless volunteering continues to strengthen rural communities wherever he lives.
Thank you, Councillor Cole, Councillor Higgy and Councillor Vogels. I'd like to invite Councillor Ruth Castrain to read and present the citations for the Community Event of the Year nominees, please.
Thank you. The first event is the Skipton Spring Festival. The Skipton Spring Festival is a vibrant, free community celebration that brings Skipton to life each spring. Organised by a small team of dedicated volunteers, led by Chairman David Honeybell, the festival celebrates local history, agriculture and creativity. With activities for all ages, it attracts visitors near and far, strengthens community connection and proudly showcases Skipton as a welcoming and thriving township. Skipton Spring Festival. Well done, Dave. Congratulations. Thank you. Good job. Well done. Yeah, I'm good. Great. Thank you. Good on you. G'day, Dale.
Thank you.
Well done on yours. Thank you. The Cobden Mini Golf Easter Extravaganza. The Cobden Mini Golf Easter Extravaganza is a much-loved family event that delivers joy, connection and affordability to the community. Organised by Cobden Rotary and community partners, the event attracts over 300 attendees annually with games, prizes and a visit from the Easter Bunny. In challenging times, it provides a rare, accessible opportunity for families to come together and create lasting memories. Congratulations. Well done, Rachel. Music for Farmers. Music for Farmers brought community and compassion together to support farming families doing it tough. Organised by community-minded volunteers and local musicians alongside the Rotary Club of Terang, the event raised funds for food vouchers and shone a light on food insecurity in rural communities. It increased awareness, inspired action and united people who wanted to make a meaningful difference. Congratulations.
Just do the circle.
Just do a lap. Congratulations, mate.
See you in a second.
You will too, do a lap. Get around your mate's golf day. Couple of familiar faces. The Get Around Your Mate's Golf Day is a powerful community event built on connection, remembrance and mental health awareness. Founded by Paul Blaine in honour of his mate Tim Rollo, the event brings together people through sport, friendship and support. Growing stronger each year, it raises vital funds, encourages conversation and reminds us all to check in on one another. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councillor Castrain, and well done to all the amazing nominees. Everyone, can we please welcome back Denby McKenzie to sing for us again before we welcome our newest citizen, Denby.
G'day everyone, how you doing? Oh jeez, we'll be pushing it uphill if we can't even say hello. G'day everyone, how we doing? Alright, now while I get set up and just checked out, I want you to turn to the person next to you and I want you to tell them, if you don't know them, I honestly don't know how that could happen given there's 3,000 people in this town, but I want you to turn to them, tell them if you could only have coleslaw or pav for the rest of your life, you can only pick one. Which one is it and why? You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Ready, set, go. Alrighty, that's enough. All right, hands up for Pav. Oh, hands up for coleslaw. Oh, that is close. Laurie, what did you pick? Why? Yeah, cool. All right, I've come out with a guitar and some of you have gotten scared, as you should be. You should be scared. But I reckon the truth is there's very few perfect songs that require no improvement. And quite a few of the Australian ones were written for guitar. So this is a couple of my favourites. Hey, true blue, don't say you've gone. Say you've knocked off for a smoker and you'll be back later on. Hey, true blue, true blue, give it to me straight, face to face. Are you really disappearing? Just another dying race. Hey, true blue, true blue, true blue, isn't me and you, isn't mom and dad, is it a cockatoo, is it standing by your mate when he's in a
fight, or will she be right? Traveler, I'm asking you, hey true blue, is your heart still there? If they sell us out like sponge cake, do you really care, hey true blue? True blue, isn't me and you, isn't mom and dad, isn't a cockatoo, is it standing by your mate when he's in a fight, or just Vegemite? True blue, I'm asking you, true blue, isn't me and you, isn't mom and dad, isn't a cockatoo, is standing by your mate when he's in a fight, oh, she be right? True blue, true blue. Thanks so much. I came from the dreamtime, from the dusty red soil plains. I am the ancient heart, the keeper of the flame. I stood upon the rocky shores, I watched the tall ships come. For 40,000 years I've been the first Australian. I came upon the prison ship, bowed down by iron chains. I fought the land, endured the lash, and waited for the rains. I'm a settler, I'm a farmer's wife on a dry and barren run. A convict, then a free man, I became Australian. I'm a daughter of a digger who soared the mother lode. This girl became a woman on the long and dusty road. I'm a child of the Depression, I saw the good times come. I'm a bushy, I'm a battler, I am Australian. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. I'm a teller of stories, I'm a singer of songs. I am Albert Namatjira, and I paint the ghostly gums. I'm Clancy on his horse, well, I'm Ned Kelly on the run. I'm the one who waltzed Matilda, I am Australian. I'm the hot wind from the desert, I'm the black soil of the plains, I'm the mountains and the valleys, and the droughts and flooding rains. I am the rock, I am the sky, the rivers when they run, the spirit of this great land. I am Australian. Come on, we are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. All right. Now, hands up here. I'm going to need some help. Hands up here who's over 50. Anyone over 50? No, no, you don't admit it. No, silly people. Come on, all right. Now, for those who are under the age of 50, we're going to teach them this song, though. All right. Can you repeat after me? Can I get everyone to put their hands up? Can everyone? Yep. Can everyone repeat after me? Rock and rollin', riding, out along the bay, your turn. All bound for Morningtown, many miles away. Nice. Train whistle blowing makes a sleepy noise underneath the blankets of all the girls and boys. So rock and rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away. Driver at the engine, fireman rings the bell, Sandman swings a lantern to show that all is well. So rock and rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away. Maybe it is raining where our train should ride. All the little travelers are warm and snug inside. So rock and rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away. One more time, and rock and rollin', riding out along the bay, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away, all bound for Morningtown, many miles away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Australia Day.
Thanks, Dem. Oh, no. Don't put me back on. I'm waiting. Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Denby. That was great. Thank you. I was definitely singing and toe tapping in the background. I can promise you that one. I now invite Deputy Mayor Councillor Laurie Hickey to the stage to assist me with welcoming our newest citizens, please. It is now with great pleasure to welcome 4 new citizens. This is one of my highlights of the day, our Australian citizenship ceremony, and I invite Marina, Miller, Nora and Ben to come forward and make their pledge. This citizenship ceremony is being conducted as prescribed in the Australian Citizenship Act 2007 and the Australian Citizenship Regulations 2016 under the authority of the Minister of Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. As Mayor, I have been authorised as the person who may receive the pledge as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Australia. Making the pledge is the final step in you becoming the Australian citizen. Federal Minister for Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Tony Burke MP, has the following message for our new Australians. In a few moments' time, Australia becomes an even better nation. When we make the citizenship pledge, you take on the privileges and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. From that moment, your journey and heritage will become part of our shared Australian story. We are privileged to share this beautiful country with First Nations Australians and custodians of the world's oldest continuing culture. Appreciating and understanding this truth is a vital part of what it means to be Australian. Australia welcomes you as a full member of one of the most diverse nations on earth, where our citizenship is a bond which unites us all. Australia welcomes you and everything you bring to Australia. Today, your new nation says to you, welcome home. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, and by sharing their democratic beliefs, and by representing their rights and liberties and upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. Now, would you like to step forward and we'll make the pledge together? How's that sound? So I'll say the first bit, and then you can repeat after me. How's that sound? So, Marina, Miller, Nora and Ben will now take the citizenship pledge. From this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, whose laws I uphold and obey. I welcome you all as citizens of Australia and congratulate you on your decision to call Australia home. I now invite you all to join in the reading of Australia Day Affirmation Statement, which can be found on your program. Councillor Hickey will lead us in this affirmation. If you're able, can you please stand?
The Australia Day Affirmation. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hickey. This concludes the 2026 Corangamite Shire Australia Day Awards ceremony. I'd like to invite all those you here in person today to stay on and enjoy a free community lunch. And can I also ask the award recipients to all come forward on the stage to have a group photo. But thank you, enjoy your day, take some time to be with family, friends and neighbours. Happy Australia Day, everyone.
Good job, mate. Good job.